Hey, come on, man.
I kept thinking about your dad just being so pissed off because the Pirates lost. I mean, and I used to hate the Pirates. Andy Van Slyke, Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla.
Jay Bell. Oh, yeah. Bobby Bonilla. I know.
Oh, the people that were famous to us when we were kids. You just couldn't stand the Pirates, and we just I used to be in my room just doing it myself, going
Well, they always sucked too, so we were so pumped in '92. But Jay Bell, I got a ball signed by him when I was a kid. It was like I met a real celebrity. I was really pumped for that.
Now, who was the catcher that we grew up watching?
For who?
The Pirates. Jason Kendall.
Jason Kendall. Jason Kendall is a fan.
Big fan.
Jason Kendall was a podcast listener in the wild days, and Jason Kendall messaged us, and I told him that my dad was a big Pirate lover and a Jason Kendall fan, and Jason Kendall sent me, well, he sent it to my dad directly, a game-used shin guard from catching, and he put to Dale on there, and thanks for watching and all your support, Jason Kendall. And it was
really,
my dad's not a big collector of stuff like that, but he was pumped to get that thing.
I didn't know that. Or if you told me that, I don't remember that. That's badass.
That was during the era where you weren't listening to a lot of stuff.
Jason Kendall. Jason Kendall was let me explain right now. Whoever is the most famous catcher in MLB right now, and I got to be honest, I ain't watching MLB often right now.
Yeah, well, it's the off season.
It's the off season. Well, I haven't watched it for about a decade.
I'm covering for you there, Hootie.
I haven't watched it closely for a decade, but whoever the most famous catcher is, like Jason Kendall was kind of almost that in like 90. What? I don't.
He was at the top of the card. It just depended on if the Pirates were decent or not. If he got the credit, I feel like, right?
But here's why I remember him. He started whatever he did. He started playing great. Started playing awesome. I remember I started hearing about Jason Kendall. Obviously, the Braves and the Pirates had themselves a rivalry, and then all of a sudden, I remember seeing Jason Kendall signed like a 6-year, $60 million deal.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking as a kid, boy, that's badass.
Hell yeah.
And then as we grow up and we go on to his podcast and we were able to talk with him and saw him smashing beers, and I saw this beautiful house behind him. Mm-hmm. And all I could think about was beautiful. All I could think about is he played well. He put his money. Since he didn't use Bitcoin because it was back in the day, I wonder if he uses Bitcoin now.
I think he probably was buying, the first round of Apple or something.
Welcome to an emergency talking shop, everybody.
Emergency talking shop. We've been trying all day, folks.
We've been trying all day. We're like we said, we're going for how many? Three to 6 days a week. We're going to start dropping these things. And if Balls Deep Billy ever gets done with his breath work, he's going to pop it out. We got Bitcoin right now going at $105,470. Is that insanity? What is XRP at right now?
XRP did a little dip today, and it's not a dip just because it was so high. It hit 340 or whatever, and it dipped into 320, and I bought some just because it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I have this weird thing now where I'm kind of scared to throw any more into XRP because I don't want to lower my average cost, and it doesn't.
When I saw my average cost at 68 cents, I still felt pretty pimped because that means I've been buying even as it went up because my average cost was like 52 or something.
When your average cost is 80. Guys, think about this. Put the average cost in there. Let's just say round it out to 80 cents. XRP is now at, let's just say $3.20. Go ahead and Google it up right now. Go to your Google. Go to your XRP calculator, profit calculator. They're all over the place.
Yep.
Just put in whatever investment you feel like. Then go ahead and put in whatever investment you think the machine gun and Big LG put in. Put down that they bought it at 80 cents and just say that they're selling it at $3.20 and see what they're at. Now you could play a lot of games.
You're creeping into the territory of sounding braggadocious, machine gun.
I'm just saying. Now, I'm just saying, well, you could put $4 in there. Sure. You could say that we did however much you think we invested in it. That's great. Now, do like we do and go to the sell price of 5,890, which where you think it's going to go, and we bought it at 80 cents. And think about us flying off in these private jets.
I love it.
That's what you.
Hey, so here's a wrestling thing.
Yes, talk to
your opinion on it because we didn't text about this at all. So WWE made an announcement yesterday that they are fully partnered for the next 3 years.
Oh,
with our old home TNA Wrestling, which I feel like we were there for the ground floor thing of that with the NXT stuff we were doing. We were seeing TNA people coming in. We saw some NXT people showing up on TNA, but now they've made it official. So for the next 3 years, it looks like WWE, NXT, and TNA talent can, if it's agreed upon, be interchangeable. That's pretty cool. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I would have probably forgot about it. But yes, I don't spend as much time on these places. I usually just go to my Twitter. I say Talking Shop is live, and I move on.
Well, a lot of people will still, they think that we don't like, I love this. I have a lot of friends out there, and some of them are probably listening. Yeah. And, you know, we've been in the wrestling business for well over 20 years now, and they'll something will happen. And then a few days later, they'll send me a screenshot and go, hey, did you hear about this? Like, well, how would I have not heard about it?
Yeah,
I heard about it.
If you
I might not have studied it, but I heard about it.
But I will say this though, this is where our truthfulness is a little weird because we will truthfully say there is times when I do have so much going on with 5 children and a family and sports, and my lack of my new lifestyle, lack of checking Twitter and checking Instagram and being fully immersed in that world. I do miss a lot of things that are going on. And if I didn't check Twitter for that one moment, I would have missed that announcement was made by our boss, Triple H.
Well, I will say this. I didn't initially see it on Twitter or Instagram because I've been, focusing on other stuff right now as well. But immediately when it happened, someone sent me a screenshot and went, hey, did you hear about this? And then over the last 24 hours, I've gotten like 5 or 6 more screenshots saying, hey, did you hear about this? We just saw a screenshot from one of our friends talking about a legend who said, hey, did you hear about this? Well, sometimes wrestlers run out of stuff to talk about, I think.
Yeah, well, and then they think that we want to talk about wrestling more. When I want to talk about wrestling, I guess.
I want to talk about wrestling when I'm heavily invested in the mix.
Or it could be
harder to talk about when you're in sabbatical, like we.
Or I could be like every other wrestler that wants to talk to us and just tell us their creative woes.
Hey, did you know that? I have this match coming up on TV.
I can't
believe. Can you believe that they're going to have me lose to wrestler X? What are they thinking? And I'm thinking, why in the flying fizz are you asking me that?
Of all people to complain to, I don't think you should
complain to me, good brother. Do not complain to me, good brother.
We're just sitting here relaxing, enjoying the ride.
We're just training and saying, recuperating and doing cold plunges and saunas and workouts and just being ready. Ready. And you're in recovery. It's beautiful.
Instead of walking up to me and complaining about your creative. Come up to me, ask me how my shoulder's doing, huh?
How many of those people who tell you they're creative do you think are like, hey man, how are your 5 sons? I don't even need that. I don't even need that part. I don't even need that part as much as I need. How about you walk up and ask me how my creative is first? First and foremost. Another great wrestler thing to do is when a wrestler knows, like, if you've been hurt or you're not being used for a particular reason or you're just there, and a wrestler knows that, a wrestler loves to walk up and go, hey man, what do you got tonight? After they already saw the run sheet and know you don't have anything. And then you go, I don't have anything tonight. And then what they want is, but what do you have? Well, I have 2 segs with Johnny Swinger or whatever,
I think we can say it. I've noticed backstage around the wrestling world. Yeah. What do you got? What do you got tonight? But see, now I never heard the "What do you got tonight" until I came to America and worked in WWE. Because
in Japan you work every night.
In New Japan,
you're not
in New Japan, it wasn't a thing. I just always had something, and it was always top of the level.
It was, but in Japan too, it's different because you wouldn't just be there if you didn't. have something. And sometimes in these TV wrestling companies in America, they have to bring extra people in case something happens, or for whatever reason you're there. Maybe you're filming something that's not related to having a match or whatever it could be. It's just the generality of it is pretty funny when you take a step back and look at it.
Maybe we're there for things you don't need to know about, bud.
I'm going to start walking up to you when we go back to TV when you're all healed and go, hey, what do you got tonight? Next time
when I'm cleared and I go back to WWE and they say, what do you got tonight? I'm going to say, maybe it's none of your business, man.
Hey, maybe it's something that's not written in the format.
Maybe. Just maybe it's something you don't know nothing about, man.
Yeah, it's a secret.
And maybe
a secret debut coming.
Maybe I can't tell you because if I tell you, you're going to go try and steal it, man.
Well, that's another wrestler thing while we're on this rant. How many times have you said, hey, I have this great idea. I think I could do this, this, and this. And wrestler A goes, oh, boy, I bet
that's a good idea.
That's a good idea. I better go tell him before he does. And then you see wrestler A doing your idea and you say, son of a bitch.
That's I think you dealt with that more often than we did or not. But back to your question before we went on that tangent. What do I think of the TNA WWE deal? Well, it's not that much of a surprise at all because,
it's not. I was kind of surprised by the announcement, but I think they had to make it official so people know, like, hey, this is an official thing. Because partnerships as we know, we're a big part of a lot of them. Last 5-6 years, partnerships were never a thing really for years and years. Back to the 90s when there was WCW, New Japan, shit like that, ECW, WWF. But it came back, and we were a big part of that. And now I think it's a thing. So you have to go, hey, this is an official partnership for this long. And they want you to go, I would love to see this person versus this person. Interpromotional has always been exciting. It's like, one of the few failed angles I remember from, we were in high school, I think, or college, was the invasion thing. Could have been really cool, but we didn't find out until we were older that a lot of guys' contracts wouldn't allow them to be actually a part of the invasion. Now with this, anybody can do anything. It's an open table. So I think the possibilities are cool for the NXT and the TNA wrestling superstars.
I'll say this right now. This is the greatest truth about this that can be spoken.
Let's hear it, pal.
And since we're broadcast journalists now,
we are broadcast journalists. I have a degree from 3 different universities.
There we go. Wrestling journalists, obviously, wrestling geniuses, if you wanted to say that.
Geniuses.
And someday, like I said, you're going to hear from us 6 to 7 days a week for 2 to 5 hours a day, depending on the money.
I think we're going to have a lot of enemies at that point.
Yeah, that's my point. So I'm going to go ahead and start this right now. I'll say this with this announcement. Please. Any opportunity for anyone to work with the WWE, take it. Good luck.
I say take it. Of course, take it. It's the grandest stage of them all. We know that. We've known that for a long time. But
it's the best thing you can do.
I also do think this, though. If you're a young NXT person who's been trained in the well-oiled WWE machine system, it's probably really good for those people, especially as they're on their way up and they're building their star power and things like that, to go see that it's not exactly that way somewhere else, for example. Because TNA, the backstage is much different than a WWE backstage or an NXT backstage. Sure. There's just differences. It's the same we were talking about the other day, since we're podcast journalists now, the new term that I just coined on Coinbase.
Yes.
About almost going, and the question we had from the emailer about him being in Japan, working in Japan, if he's living in Japan. But the whole thing is a life experience, but it also is going to teach him a hell of a lot about being an in-ring performer. So hopefully he, if he's in it for the long haul and wrestles for a long time, he's going to get a lot of valuable knowledge from being in front of a non-WWE audience that he can use in front of a WWE audience. So it's pretty genius on our boss Triple H's part. To open up these floodgates and allow all this crossover.
Well, like I said, when we returned to WWE in October of 2022, on October 10th, 2022, in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center, it's one of the greatest comebacks of all time.
I don't want to spoil anything, but we are returning October 10th, 2025 as well.
Maybe. But we did return October 10th, 2022 to one of the greatest reactions of all time. But we'll deep dive to that on another time. Another day. I'll say this: Triple H told us that he was going to work with this person and that person, and he will work with this stuff, and he's going to open things up. And then of course a lot of things happened, with the company and being sold and blah blah blah. But This is stuff that AAA. This is an incredible vision for these guys that are coming from college and from maybe they come from the NIL world, or they come from
the NIL thing in wrestling is something that like we don't even fully understand it yet. But how amazing is that compared to how when we started that you can, and now the WWE ID thing, you're basically being paid a salary, a stipend to continue to grow and flourish on the independent. So there's even another level to developmental now, because NXT in itself is its own brand and its own entity, and there are levels of that. And then you're going to say, hey, I see this guy on Gallows Larry's Auto Pro show. I think he's got potential. I want him to be able to wrestle 3 or 4 nights a week whenever he can be booked, and not have to worry about necessarily like holding down like what we used to call back in the day, like, oh, what's that guy's his shoot job when he's not wrestling on Saturday night. So he doesn't have to do that per se. He can go make his bookings. He can train at his wrestling school. He can get better and hopefully one day be a WWE superstar.
Well, I think it's a great opportunity for two companies to work together. It's amazing opportunities for everyone to get good experience. And
good on Ariel, and good on Tommy Dreamer, and good on Delirious, and whoever all the brass is over at TNA right now for doing what they could do too to make that thing happen, because it's big for everybody. It's big for them. It's great. It's just great exposure to be seen by different audiences.
Good Brothers went to TNA Impact in July of 2020 and set a record for pay-per-view buys when we showed up. That was us.
I went in July of 2012, then I went again in July of 2020. I didn't set a pay-per-view buy rate record in 2012.
Yeah, but we Good Brothers went to Impact Wrestling and TNA Wrestling and set all kinds of records. That's true.
That's actually a true fact. Yeah,
I know. I'm being serious. I'm not being. I know.
Braggadocious Bob, I love this.
I'm not being braggadocious Bob. I'm stating facts.
I know, but it's fun to call you that.
I can't sit here and say that I have I can sit here and state with a fact that I have a great wrestling punch. I do.
You have a great wrestling
punch. But I'm just saying that someone could say, no, he doesn't. It stinks. Well,
sure. That's subjective, but the records are not subjective.
That's my point. So anybody can have an opinion to that, but I'm stating a fact that we went to Impact TNA Wrestling and we set legitimate pay-per-view buy rates.
I'm sorry for calling you braggadocious, Bob. You're actually factual Frank.
Factual Frank. I'm just being honest about this.
That's right.
And any opportunity for anyone that is at TNA, if you're listening, any opportunity that you get to pop on NXT,
on NXT.
If you get the opportunity to pop on NXT or get on NXT or you any WWE television opportunity you get,
take it.
Take this all in and understand that you are doing something that people all over the world wish they could
want to do. Let me shift gears here for one second.
Shift gears on me.
Away from wrestling. Let me ask you this, because we're both into recovery, we're into healing, we're into longevity. We want to do what we do for a long time in all facets of it. And I know we like the cold plunge. We like the sauna. We obviously like the way that we both have different workout routines we like. Are you becoming more of like a holistic supplement guy? Tell you why I ask. I've been really delving into this. I've been buying these like black seed oils, all these cancer preventatives.
I like that.
I got this one, and of course, I'm a sucker for a good BOGO. It was buy one get one free, and I read all these benefits of using a tincture of oil of oregano. Right?
Remember where you're at right there, please. I just don't want to forget to comment on this real quickly, because I want all of our fans to remember this when they see it from now on. Okay. When I see BOGO in the store, I say it as loudly as I can to make my kids and my wife get very angry when I scream.
Oh yeah, no one. I
go BOGO. Let's freaking go.
Let's freaking BOGO.
And everyone gets. Well, hey, babe, you want to come here and say hi?
Say hello.
No. She wants to just come in here and tease me with things.
Maybe she wants to tell you about a hot BOGO.
She's a beautiful look. She's a beautiful.
On Amazon Prime, my beautiful wife loves a good BOGO.
My beautiful wife loves a good BOGO.
Oh, she just is always asking.
She loves good BOGO.
He said there's a BOGO down there at the Publix. We ought to ride down.
Well, now when you walk by BOGO in every store, you're gonna go BOGO.
I did it. I was in Publix and I go, look at that. BOGO on the sirloin.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to do right now. You know what I mean? Just
My apologies. Get back to your holistic thoughts.
anyway, so I'm like getting all this stuff coming. And I've been putting it into my body. And this oil of oregano, which was a BOGO,
BOGO, let's go.
But oil of oregano, like you drop it into like an ounce or two of water, you stir it up, you shoot it back, and then it just tastes like you're burping pizza for the rest of the day. It's actually terrible, and I don't think it has any actual health benefits. It's just I'm ribbing myself. It's like when I tried the charcoal toothpaste, and I went, "Come on,
yeah." I couldn't go with the charcoal toothpaste. So I have a couple of different ways of looking at that. Yeah, and I think all natural products are obviously going to be better. They have to be, right?
Especially if they're on a BOGO, you get two for the price of one.
Especially if you're on a BOGO. But there's got to be ways to look at this. Like,
sure.
Yeah, seed oil is a seed oil. But what the hell is a seed oil? I just think everything can just be in. I think everything needs to be done in moderation, right?
Moderation. There you have.
So I think it's good because now I take back the apple cider vinegar. I've tried that because I heard it does all these great.
I used to do that, but it just you don't. I'm an instant gratification guy. A week of that, nothing happens. It just tastes like shit. I go, I'm moving on.
Yeah, and I don't know if nothing happens as much as I just really don't like the taste of it at all.
I can't see it. My muscles didn't get bigger. I want to puke, And
I look at it like this now. I don't drink Diet Coke anymore, and if you do, more power to you.
Sure.
Because I just read an article. All I do is read now. By the way, it's insane.
I love it. You used to hate reading too.
But I read an article by Warren Buffett, about Warren Buffett. I mean, he drinks 4, 5, 6 regular Cokes a day.
But he believes in Coke. That's why he's so heavily invested, and he's such a billionaire.
Exactly. And now he's 85 or 90 years old. And
it's a product he believes in. But you know what, though? People say that, and I do agree that it's terrible for you to do that. But my grandfather lived to be 84 years old. He smoked for 60, quit, but he drank at least 2 liters of regular Pepsi every day. He'd cut the yard, come in sweaty. He doesn't want a water. He wants a big old Pepsi. And I mean, who knows what... Obviously, it wasn't great for him, but he had a good long run, and like he never got crippled up or anything. He was walking around until the last days. So I don't know.
Go to the doctor, get yourself a physical yearly, twice a year, get your blood taken a couple times a year, a couple times a year. You got to do that.
You got to do that,
and then have a cold tub. I think have a cold tub every day. If you don't have an actual cold tub, because trust me, they're expensive. I just bought one.
Just turn your cold shower on and get in it.
The cold shower for a minute is enough. It sucks.
It sucks.
Get yourself a sweat every single day. You're going to be good. Did you watch Netflix? Raw Netflix. You can be honest on here, but this is a truthful thing here.
No, so I texted you this morning early. Not that early because I didn't get as early as I normally do. And I said, hey, I didn't get to see any of the Raw Netflix from this week. I'm going to turn it on in my gym.
Yes.
And then it'll give us some good podcast stuff to talk about, some subject matter from current WWE storylines, whatever.
Yeah.
And, it was one of those deals like in the hotel where I don't remember my Netflix login. My TVs upstairs are logged in. Usually downstairs in the gym, I'm a boring guy now. It's Bloomberg every time I'm working out.
Yes.
So when I went to log into my Netflix, I couldn't. And then I gave me a barcode and then I did the barcode and then it just kept spinning. So, well, this sucks. So I switched over to Sling and I saw that I still have TNA recorded. I turned on TNA and that's what made me think of my opening question about the partnership because they hadn't announced it on there yet because I think it was a pre-tape show. But I was looking at the show and I went, man, the presentation is cool. They had a great opening shot. The crowd's all chanting TNA, TNA. And they got a brighter like entrance. They got a cool ramp. They have big TNA logo emblazoned on the canvas, and I just thought, well, this looks pretty cool, and it made me remember, like, I do like to watch wrestling, especially like
that's good.
We know a lot of those guys, and it was I was working out and trying to take care of the baby while working out, so I didn't give it my undivided, but it was great background. I was enjoying that it was on. And
for a couple of years, we were very big stars at Impact Wrestling.
Absolutely.
I caught the tail beginning. The tail of the beginning. I caught the beginning.
You caught the end of Seg 1?
I caught almost all of Seg 1, and then I had to run. So I'll tell you this.
You have 5 kids. That's a ridiculous excuse.
I think it was San Jose. Is that where Raw was from?
Maybe I get a SmackDown calendar. I'm not
Yep.
sure.
So again, we're live on Netflix. Netflix Raw, WWE, huge deal, huge partnership.
Most eyes on professional wrestling, WWE ever. It's great.
I mean, this is crazy stuff. It comes on live. You hear Michael Cole, you see Pat McAfee. There's obviously the crowd's always live. I mean, they're always nuts. They're always going crazy. Nothing
rabid.
I always tell people, even when we do the morning media, which we love to do, even requested to do, if you've never, ever been to a WWE show of any kind, you don't enjoy wrestling whatsoever. If you
have to see the show live,
if you go to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or NXT, let's just say if you're live at Raw and you hear the fireworks and you see all the people and you see the sold out energy, there's nothing like it. Nothing. But they come up live, the fireworks go off, they got a drone flying around this arena.
It's incredible, man. You have to see the show live, even if wrestling's not your thing. Take the kids and watch it. Well, because I used to tell people that all the time. And even, my own family who weren't like, I was obsessed with it. They're like, okay, we're coming because you're here. And then they go, wow, what a great live show. It's like seeing, some awesome rock band live or something. It's insane.
Well, listen, I'm about to give a review.
Please.
I'm going to give you a review. The drones
shut up, maybe.
The drones go. No, I want you to feed on. No, I'm not telling you shut up. I want to hear your opinions on this because I'm going to review it unbiasedly.
Please.
The drones flying around, it looks so sweet. The WWE arena looks so sweet. Monday Night Raw looks sweet.
Oh yeah.
I believe it goes to a if I'm remembering correctly, because I don't have it right in front of me, but I think it went to a replay of last week or something like that. As the drone flew in right past McAfee, and I thought, man, that looks cool. And then, bam, a little bit of silence in the arena. Not a silence, but a little bit of a come down. The people come down a little bit, and then, bam, CM Punk's music hits.
Boom.
Great reaction. CM Punk obviously is a wrestling
superstar.
He probably has surpassed wrestling superstardom, right? He's probably just a celebrity. Why he can't be on normal planes, and I don't think he is anymore now. Correct?
Well, I think he's definitely private.
I think he's got to be on a private plane. So anyway, so CM Punk on his private plane has landed in California. CM Punk's music hits. It's hot. He looks good. He comes out. He looks like a superstar walking down to the ring. Gets in the ring. He cuts a great promo.
Yep.
So see, there's review number one. CM Punk cuts an amazing promo. A usual.
Well, what happens after the great CM?
Well, he cuts this promo and he closes it out. Says, "Hit my music."
Yep, and they hit someone else's music.
I'll be doggone if Seth Rollins didn't come out and interrupt him.
Holy Toledo!
So Seth Rollins' music hits.
Yep, cool.
It's been so long since I've watched though. I heard Seth Rollins' music hit, and I thought for a second, who's that?
Well, they do have a good long-term story with them. You got to give them credit for long-term story building.
Lots of credit. WWE. This is all WWE. The way.
Yeah, and Hunter's booking team, especially, and him, like all the way back, they're showing. I don't know where I saw this on Twitter or something, but clips of them when they were young, and Punk saying he discovered them and all that. So anyway, it's a great long-term story. Please continue.
Incredible. So Burn It Down hits, and I thought, well, who the heck is that? Just for a quick second, I went, oh, geez, that's right, Seth Rollins. Here we go.
There we go. Yeah,
Seth Rollins comes out. I mean, the huge reaction. Place goes nuts.
Yeah,
he comes out. Of course, he's a great talker. There we go. Mm-hmm. And then, by God, guess what happens? Somebody's music hits. Drew McIntyre comes out.
Podcast favorite, Drew McIntyre. Here we go.
He looks great.
Obviously.
Talks great. His hair looks like he looks like a Scottish god here.
I used to say he looked like the cover of a romance novel.
I mean, these are three massive superstars, and here's my review. Here's my review of this segment. Boy, that was great stuff. That was great stuff. See, we're broadcast journalists.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds amazing. Now, was a match set up for later in the night, or we're setting up for the Royal Rumble right now? I'm sure.
Well, big problem. A baby started crying, had to leave, didn't get.
Son of a Grand Banks fisherman.
So I have no idea what happened from there on, but that's from now on. Whatever opportunity we get to watch the show, we're going to watch and review as much as we possibly can. I'm going to be honest. It's going to probably always be positive because we are WWE guys.
We are, but I was going to be so bold and I was going to even side. I'm just going to say it here because I know with the amount of children we both have that it won't be possible. I was literally thinking my podcast studio, this great big screen TV behind me I never use. It's covered by the podcast flag. You can't.
That's a great idea.
by my skull and throne. I thought we could line it up and we could turn on SmackDown in our respective. You're in your gym. I'm right outside my gym here in my basement makeshift studio. We could start watching it. We could start podcasting. We could really review that thing. And then I thought, well, we both have babies. No,
well, when's that going to happen? Yeah.
What the hell am I talking about?
we both have babies, and we're both very, very into the situation. I mean,
into the situation deeply.
Yeah. And our wives know that we're into the situation and that we want to be hands-on. And so they hand us the baby a lot.
You know, I had so much fun with my baby all day yesterday. I really did. It's a great thing. I did.
I know. And I
and you just popped your nuts off.
And I slept with the baby all night last night because I am a father that likes to be in with my baby.
You're an involved father, and we missed a lot of fathering opportunity. We missed a lot of good fathering when we were good brothers. We always were good dads, but there was a lot of time away. And right now, you're getting to see some real formative stuff that you didn't get to see with your other kids, which is nice.
So that's the review of WWE Raw on Netflix. Started out amazing, and I'm sure it was awesome.
You saw 3/4 of Seg 1. Thanks for the review, Machine Gun.
It's going to be better when we return and it gets a big reaction, and then we're all over the place and we move on from there. Hey, talking shop, goodbrothers@gmail.com. Don't forget to send the boys a message.
Send us a put over, brother.
But I got to start. I'm starting off the emails hot today because I've got a voice. Like I said, I requested voice messages.
Oh, well, do we have a voice message?
We've got a voice message.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Here we go.
Now we're talking.
What's up, boys? Tyler Benoit here. If we're going to start doing this speak pipe thing now, you know I got to send one in. So anyway, I played the clip of my hot dog question that I asked you guys to my dad, and he absolutely loved it. So now my dad is full on a fan of the Good Brothers. He even wrote on my Christmas card, he titled it "To Bid Juicy Lukey" and drew some hot dogs on it. So I thought that was pretty cool that, you know, now my dad's a fan of the Good Brothers as well, because you guys are the best. But anyway, I hope you guys had a great Christmas, and I'm curious, did you guys get your kids any wrestling stuff for Christmas? Like, do you buy them figures or anything like that? Because as a kid, opening up a wrestling figure was always the most awesome thing on Christmas. Love you, boys.
Tyler Benoit, great voice memo. I love you too, good brother.
We love you, buddy.
Love to your dad. I'll tell you. So I'll tell you. My son says all the time. I'll tell you. I didn't buy anything for any of my children wrestling stuff this year, and the reason why is my baby doesn't know what wrestling is yet, although he is playing with a bendy of mine upstairs when I came down here. The other kids are not that into it. My oldest is about to turn 18, so wrestling figures aren't the thing right now, but we talk about it all the time, and especially when he was younger, I was a little younger, and I was raising him as a single dad. He was completely 100% immersed in it, you know, elementary school, middle school, even into the beginning of high school. But like, we used to have so much fun because you've been to my old house. I lived down there near the lake, and there was always a slew of wayward brothers coming through, indie guys or guys who were passing through Atlanta that needed a place to crash. So Cade like really grew up around the boys. So we got to a point where everything for Christmas was wrestling. Every single thing was wrestling, to where I had our boy at Ringside Collectibles on speed dial. And through the year, I'd be sending him, I got to get my hands on this. I got to get my hands on this. And it would be this amazing wrestling Christmas. And my late friend, Kimbro Slice, as we used to call him as a joke, he loved wrestling figures too. He actually lived with me for a while. But he would come over no matter what on Christmas Eve, and we would always get whatever the big ring setup of the year was. We'd get that from Ringside Collectibles.
Yes.
But then him and I would sit up and we'd read some novels and go late into the night, and we would build Cade like an arena around the living room floor. And we would have so much fun popping our nuts off doing it. We'd have all these supplies, all this stuff that they didn't even make yet. We'd have lighting and we'd have all this stuff. And then we would just wrap all these wrestling figures. And then, you know, Christmas morning, he'd open all his normal presents, and then he'd get to the big stuff, which was all the wrestling stuff. And I mean, so much money invested into these things over the years. And then we would just have a pay-per-view with him for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And he was at the age where he really, really loved it. And, I think he thought it was cool too. Cause like he could see his dad on TV and play with his figures, and the guy who slept in the spare room a week ago, he's got a brand new toy of him. So that's an exciting way to grow up. I had a lot of fun doing that. I missed that. That was really cool.
That was that was a great voice message. Send those kinds of messages. Figure it out. Send it through SpeakPipe or send it through your iPhone, right to Talking Shop Good Brothers.
The voice memo on the iPhone, right?
That was great. Tell your dad we said hello. We love him too. We love you too. A little bit of context quickly. Gallo said we read some novels, and so that's been said a couple of times. And I don't know if on the repented version we've explained.
We haven't explained that. That's what we used to call drinking.
How that started though was we went and did the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast at Stone Cold's house, and we had the very next day we were flying to, I believe, Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. And he said, "Well, what are you guys going to do on that long flight?" And I go, and Gallows goes, "Read some novels." It was like, and that's kind of what it turned into. Yeah, I'm going to read a bunch of novels on this.
That was code for
my three oldest boys when they were younger loved wrestling.
Yeah,
blah blah blah. We ended up leaving the WWE, and they don't love wrestling as much as they used to. And my two youngest ones, the 6-year-old has absolutely nothing, he wants nothing to do with TV dad, as he calls it. He wants real dad and doesn't even want to turn it on. So, it's very interesting.
But I will say this, your boys did get out of wrestling, and Cade, he got older and discovered girls and sports and all the stuff that he's doing in the senior high school. But we did not much longer than a year ago, come down to Tampa and speak to the school.
It's true.
We had Sweet Mia with us, and we came out and we talked to your son's school, and we answered questions and we signed stuff for him, and then he loved that. That made him
and my three oldest boys still love the fact. I mean, if I say, "Hey, I got a match at WrestleMania, or I got a match on Raw, will you guys watch it?" They'll watch it. But they don't sit down and watch wrestling anymore at all.
No, but they like that their dad's a known wrestler. They think
they want dad to do it. But hey, thank you for that. Thank you for that. With Christmas. So real quick. So with Christmas, did I get the kids anything? So no, I didn't. I got them nothing. I thought we went on a cruise, right? So I thought we're going on this cruise. That's the present.
So you thought no presents because of the cruise?
Of course, no presents. It's a cruise.
Gotcha.
Well, I start seeing presents loading up under the tree, and I'm thinking, who are these for? That's all the kids. And so we come back home from the cruise, which was stressful. And now there's a bunch of gifts on there. I thought, well, what's going on here?
You're like the dad from Home Alone. How rich are you? You take
a bunch. Not at all. I'm like the dad from Christmas Story. Subject is Honky Tonk Wayne from Lewis.
Yes.
Hello, Lewis.
Yes.
Hey, Hoots. I'm a big fan of the pod. I'm glad to see it back on a regular schedule. It's on the greatest schedule the Talking Shop's ever been on.
It really is.
I enjoyed your Honky Tonk Man stories the other week, and man, they reminded me of my own experience with the greatest intercontinental champion of all time.
We want cryptids, crypto, Honky Tonk Man stories, advice to the lovelorn in that order.
I was 15 years old and training to become a wrestler when I was backstage at a UK indie show, and the Honky Tonk Man Wayne was working in early 2006.
Okay.
From my memory, he was really nice to everybody and a total pro.
Yeah.
However, I do remember a very sweaty Honky Tonk Man openly drinking from a vodka bottle while he sold Rey Mysterio masks to fans out of his suitcase. Oh, respect.
Respect.
He was telling young fans that he was a close friend to the Mysterio as he sold them masks. I am positive the Honky Tonk Man made a lot more money than the promoter did that night.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember his match, but considering it was family-oriented show and the ring was hard as heck, I'd be surprised if he took one bump. Hell, I'd be so mad at him if he did. Oh, and by the way, this email come out of your checks, you effing marks. Cheers, Lewis.
That reminded me of one of our old classic Honky Tonk Man stories. A friend of ours was working with the Honky Tonk Man on an indie show many years ago.
Many years
ago. Yes. The guy was brought in by the promoter, and he was a bigger guy. And the promoter said, "This is one of the best guys we have, Wayne. He'll do anything you want out there." And our friend said, "Sir, it's an honor to be able to get in the ring with you tonight. And I'd love to take the shake, rattle, and roll. I'll do anything you want." And the Honky Tonk Man looked up from lacing his white boot, and he said, You got one bump tonight, fat ass, so choose it fucking wisely.
Yeah, see?
Oh, we love the Honky Tonk Man.
That's just the way it is. The greatest intercontinental champion of all time. Thank you for that email. That was a great email.
Great email.
Charles Peterson, subject is putting you over. That's always good.
Great.
Hello, good brothers. Now, again, guys, there might be times when our team sends me the same emails. If we reread the same email, listen, we don't even remember what we talked about already.
We said that you're 100% sober. We didn't say that the members of our team are that are shuffling.
Yeah, the team might not be. We have a ton. We have a ton of emails. Hello, good brothers. 14 months sober here.
Congrats.
Congratulations. OG Talking Shop listener from the MLW radio days in the Tokyo Dome hotels. But enough of that deep dive. Definitely not today.
Not today.
Today is just about me laying flat on my back, looking at the lights, putting you boys over clean. 1, 2, 3. My honor to do the JOB. Everyone should recognize you two are some seriously over brothers. With respect from Pittsburgh, Chuck Peterson. And yes, that is my real name.
Love it, Chucky P. Love it. Great email.
That was an absolute.
What can you say about that email? It's amazing.
That was an absolutely great email. Unbelievable. Guys, keep the emails coming. Talking Shop, goodbrothers@gmail.com. We just want to continually do these. We want to sometimes do just a nice a brothered out financial pod.
Yes.
Where we're not giving it financial advice. We're giving brothered out financial advice for real humans.
Yeah.
Like, we're not having David Ramsey on and he's yelling at you, calling you an idiot for doing this. We're saying, well, maybe you do this.
Your dad's not a Ramsey guy, huh?
Oh, I don't think if anybody ever met David Ramsey, they would be either.
I think David Ramsey's probably very smart and very rich and gives good advice and has very little friends. But I also don't think he cares.
Oh, no, exactly. Those damn good brothers is the email.
Oh, this could go a bunch of different ways, pal.
Is the subject, those damn good brothers. What's up, Hoots?
Hey, Hoot.
I was listening to the latest episode while I was working this morning, and I worked myself up an appetite. So while I was thinking about how hungry I was getting, all of a sudden I said out loud, I think I'll get a little snack.
Oh, yeah, I think I will.
Well, here's the kicker. I said it in
I'm gonna get me a little snack.
In toothless Stone Cold's voice.
I'm gonna get me a little snack.
I just laughed out loud and said, those damn good brothers. I love you boys too. Sleepy. Well, I think I'll get myself a little snack.
I think I'm gonna get me a little snack, a little Debbie, and a little Cohen machine over there.
I think I'll have myself a little snack. Wait till you do this one. I think I'll have myself a little snack.
I think I'll have some cheese rabbit on some.
I think I'll have myself a little snack. Philip 66 is the subject. Hey, Hoots, I've been a massive fan of the Good Brothers since Gallows worked the convict gimmick down in Louisiana.
Well, you know.
They used to send him to the ring in shackles to work Philip 66. Is this true? Yeah.
My name was Alcatraz. No, it's not true. He's making a joke from the Wrestling Road Diaries many years ago.
I love listening to you guys and have taking inspiration from the repented brothers. I have a young son and a daughter, and I have now taken up Carl's intermittent fasting gimmick to be the best father and husband I can be.
Love it.
The new pod is rocking. All the brotherly love in the world. Reese for you American boots. So Reese is how it's spelled. It's
Reese.
RHYS from South Wales. I love it. So what's he referring to, Big LG?
Philip 66, the original, the Podfather. We give him credit for that. Colt Cabana.
Yep.
I was on his Wrestling Road Diaries in 2011.
Yes.
I had been released from WWE, and we went on the road. And in the middle of it, I tore my groin horrifically. It's all documented on there. I'm all on all my naughty bits. And anyway, so I became a manager, and it's kind of where Sex Ferguson went public the first time. Probably not a great thing. But there was a guy in the back, and I don't know why. Cabana's just filming documentary style, and we start bantering, and he starts to try to out-banter me, and I dressed him down with a promo.
Yeah.
in a loving and fun way. But I called him Philip 66 and made a bunch of steroid jokes.
You can't out banter the good brother like that. Are you nuts?
Yeah.
I want to say, so thank you for the email. Good job. Congratulations. Intermittent fasting. Listen, if you're already almost in shape, if you just do this, you'll get ripped. If you're really, really out of shape and you just do this, you're going to lose weight 100%. Wake up, don't eat anything, drink a bunch of water, black coffee. At about 2 p.m., have yourself a nice big apple. If you're still hungry, eat another big apple. If you're still hungry, eat a third, fourth apple. And I promise you're not going to want to eat any more apples. That's 3 or 4 apples right there.
I just can't believe you're putting all the sugar and carbs into these innocent people.
Don't touch anything else whatsoever. Then at about 6, 7 p.m., have yourself a nice big steak and a baked potato. Don't snack in between. Have a nice, massive steak, the biggest steak you possibly could have ever eat.
And if that's economically not on your list, get some chicken thighs or something. Put a nice protein in there.
Yeah, whatever you want to get. Get chicken, anything, any kind of meat, any kind of sweet potato or a potato. Yeah. Boom. Don't snack anything else. Right before bed, banana and peanut butter. I promise you're going to be ripped up.
Love it.
All right, we got to wind this down though, because I actually have to go to flag football tonight. I have 2 flag football games tonight for the boys.
Nice. Good for you.
Zach Davenport says, Gallo, say it ain't so. Howdy, good brothers.
Hey, buddy.
I was procuring the interwebs and stumbled upon a clip that I would really enjoy hearing Mr. Too Bad and Doc break down. The link is below. Okay. Gallows, I'm a Louisville native here and a Festus enjoyer. And let me tell you, with all respect to Mr. Inoki, may he rest in peace. He's lucky I wasn't in the. He's lucky. He's lucky. He's lucky I wasn't in the arena.
Oh man, that's funny.
He's lucky I wasn't in the arena, man, or I would have had to give that brother a piece of my mind and maybe a couple of chops for his trouble. I love the pod. I love the good brothers. And if you're ever in the Ohio Valley, let a hoot know. Thank you for the email, Zach. Gallows, you can either deep dive on that or not. I don't really care. Kind of like the bird last week.
Yeah, we love the Ohio Valley. No, that clip's out there. It goes around my Twitter about once a year. Everybody gets a good laugh out of it. Basically, what happened, I'm not here to place blame.
No place in blame.
But some things happened in that contest. I've gone for Inoki's promotion. Now, I know you got to wrap it up. So I've gone 3 or 4 times, and they loved me, and things were going really well. And then this particular rematch took place in the link that you're referencing, and things went awry to the point where Antonio Inoki had enough, and he came down to ringside and was basically screaming to go home. And
now is he yelling? Now are you in the match and you're looking over going, huh?
There was a lot of times in the match I was looking around going, huh?
So,
I'm not going to blame anyone.
But how about, that's fine. But how about when you see Mr. Antonio Inoki-san coming down?
I went.
You hear noise going on. Are you thinking?
This is a big arena too for like IGF. I mean, there's 5,000-6,000 people in there, a bunch of sponsors. Yeah. And before this, I'm going to become the guy.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, geez,
this is a big deal.
This is not going well. And he was pissed off, and we took it home. And then they did tell me I had to go to the after party. I was Keith Hansen, so I had to wear my big cowboy hat and my boots and go down to the after party. And they said, Simon Inoki, actually, you know Simon well. Simon said, Carlos, Mr. Inoki, son may slap you. And I go, can I slap him back? And he goes, please do not slap him back. It's like his gimmick, but if he thinks maybe you show disrespect, he slap. I go, I didn't disrespect him because whatever took place, not putting the blame on anybody, in that match, I don't fully feel like it was my fault or responsibility. So can I slap him back? He said no. And shortly after that, we parted ways with IGF Wrestling.
Wow. It's Simon Inoki now, I think.
That was a really G-rated version of that story. I'll deep dive on it sometime.
That is... Yeah, someday we'll jump back into that. Was that your first time in Japan?
No, but my first time in Japan was for IGF. And when I first went, like I said, they loved me. I was going to be Stan Hansen's nephew and have this big run, which I didn't know what IGF was. That's a whole nother deep dive.
Yeah, that's a whole
research you don't need to do. But
I don't think anybody does.
So it went well for a little while, and then
I still don't.
Something happened, and then they asked me to come back. They asked me to come back and do a work shoot with this 7'1" K1 fighter, retired K1 fighter, and they go, "All you got to do is come out and don't put your hands up and let him kick you in the head and knock you out." And I go, "Absolutely not."
Nah, I'm good.
I remember I said it can't be breach of contract because I'm not Japanese and it's a Japanese contract. And they were kind of like, and that was the end of it.
Nah, I'm good.
Let me give my unprotected head to a 7-foot K1 guy and let him just kick it. Nah, I'm good.
Guys, check out SmackDown. Check out Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Check out NXT. Check out the Good Brothers on Talking Shop on YouTube.
Just watch us on YouTube.
Check us on YouTube and love and like Talking Shop everywhere you can go.
We're on Hugh Morris Tube, YouTube.
Yeah, and just get ready for our big, huge comeback. It's coming soon, or not today.
It's coming soon on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. For the big LG and for the machine gun, I'll see you guys maybe on either Sunday morning or Tuesday morning. I don't know.
We'll figure out when we can cast again.
Or Saturday morning. I don't know when this drops. Doesn't matter. Goodbye.
Nah.
I think I'll have myself a little snack.
I do know you're going to have yourself a little snack out of the coin machine. What are you going to get?
I think I might go have myself a little din-din.
I'm going to have myself some Funyuns or maybe.
I think I might go to flag football.
What?
I might go have a hot dog at flag football.
I might get myself a slow dog.
Good brother corn.